And from the southern part of the continent, let's now take a look at the latest news from West Africa. The foreign ministers of Sahel Junta states, Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso met with their Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov on Thursday for a summit aimed at strengthening military and diplomatic relations. During the summit, Russia's top diplomat expressed Moscow's readiness to help the three countries strengthen their military capabilities. Moscow also pledged to assist in training troops, law enforcement officers, and to provide military equipment. Lavrov also mentioned that Russia could help the Sahel countries form a joint military force by offering special courses and utilizing the significant number of Russian military instructors already active in the region. Meanwhile, the Russian minister also accused Ukraine of destabilizing the Sahel region, claiming without evidence that Ukraine is openly supporting terrorist groups operating in the region. Now, these claims were later echoed by Mali's foreign minister, who went further by calling Ukraine a terrorist state.
Certain out-of-region actors, even today, try to destabilize the situation in Sahel region. Recently, apart from former colonial powers, the Kyiv regime popped up among them. With the full connivance of its Western sponsors, it openly supports the terrorist groups in this part of Africa.
We have common views on fighting insecurity and terrorism in our region, which is supported by foreign state sponsors and regional actors from our area, which continues to serve as a rear base and support terrorism, which we need to fight against. It includes Ukraine at your doorstep here, which we consider simply a terrorist state.
Ukraine has rejected these claims, calling them baseless, and has questioned the legitimacy of Mali's government, which is led by a military junta. Mali broke off diplomatic relations with Kyiv last year, accusing a senior Ukrainian official of involvement in an attack that led to a heavy defeat suffered by the Malian troops. Niger followed suit, severing ties with Ukraine over similar accusations. At the same time, ties between the Sahel countries and the West have become increasingly strained. Now, following military coups in Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger in recent years, the juntas have expelled French and US forces. Moreover, last year, Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso announced their withdrawal from the ECOWAS, which requires them to organize presidential elections and transfer power to civilians. Weakened by attacks from armed groups linked to Al-Qaeda, the Islamic State or separatists, they created the Alliance of Sahel States, or the AES, to pool their military and diplomatic forces. Moscow has capitalized on the deteriorating relations between the West and the coup-affected Sahel nations to send fighters and to assert its influence. Warming up ties with the West African juntas has also helped Russia to counter the international isolation it has faced in the West after launching an offensive against Ukraine. Moscow has concluded defense agreements with Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, as well as supplied them with extensive military equipment. Russian mercenaries from the Wagner Group and its successor, the Africa Corps, are also helping the AES countries counter terrorists, whose attacks have killed tens of thousands of people in the three countries. Beyond security, Russia also cooperates with the AES on energy and mining. So, as Russia's influence in the West African countries makes an upward trajectory, will its presence strengthen or further deepen the region's political and security challenges?
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
For more
not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.